Well, the thing that I love about so many of your movies is the good versus the evil. When just an ordinary man becomes this extraordinary hero because he acts courageously. Yeah. Braveheart, Patriot, Hacksaw Ridge, and of course, The Passion of Christ. And I believe those are the movies that inspire us to act in faith and courage and just be relentless in reaching our own God-given destinies.
No, absolutely.
So I would love for you to share with us in your personal life, when have you had to act in faith and courage to reach your own dreams and aspirations?
Oh, well, lots of times. Gee whiz. We all get decisions to make, and it's easy to hide from them or run away. And sometimes you're really tempted to do that. Sometimes there's no way out of it. You got to go through it, push the arrow through. It's brutal. But I'm not exactly like, Mr. Courage or anything, but it's every now and then you can do the right thing, and you feel good about it afterwards, even though it was difficult. I've never been to war, so I don't know what that's like. For all I know, I'd crawl under a log and just, I don't know. No one knows what they'll do. I'm fascinated by people who have had those experiences. And when I was a young man, I talked to all these old diggers. When I was like 24, and I talked to these old men. They were in their 80s, and they were in the First World War. And they were talking about trench warfare in Turkey. And I talked to this guy, and he was in the third wave of a bunch of guys that they sent over out of a trench to take the Turks, and they were ordered to go without a bullet, and the Turks were just mowing them down as they came out, but they had to run into this hailstorm of bullets. And he watched as the first and the second wave went down, and he knew he was in the third wave, and he was 87. And I said, how did you feel? How did you feel when you saw everybody die and you knew that you had to get up there and run into that thing? And he just looked at me, and he said, I'll never forget it. He said, there was nothing else for it, son, you had to go. Like that. I was like, wow. And he did. And he got blown up by a bomb, and he landed in a divot, and they dragged him in with a grappling hook 3 days later because they were all scared to go out there.
Wow.
But he lived. And what a story. I mean,
absolutely.
What balls. I mean, to run into the,
Absolutely.
That's